What we have here today is an orchid that looks very dead. The center of the plant, the crown, is black and mushy, which is a clear sign of severe crown rot. Once the crown rots, the orchid can't grow new leaves anymore, and that's usually the end of the story. The leaves are yellowing and turning brown, dry and papery. Showing heavy dehydration. This tells us the roots are most likely dead or no longer working properly, so the plant can't absorb water at all. Now, normally, this is the moment people give up and throw it away. But we're not here to be normal. Today, we're going to attempt the impossible and see if this orchid can be brought back, not as it was, but as a brand new plant. Once we remove the orchid from its pot, the roots usually tell the same sad story as the leaves. Instead of healthy roots, you'll likely find ones that are either mushy and soaked, or completely dry and hollow. Both mean the plant can no longer move water properly. Healthy orchid roots should look plump and firm, green if they've seen light, or white to silvery if they were buried in the pot. But in this condition, most roots will turn dark brown or black. Which is a clear sign of rot and decay. Now, here's an important detail. Orchid roots have a spongy outer layer called velamen. If you gently pull on a rotten root, and the outer skin slides right off, leaving behind a thin string-like core. That root is completely dead. Some roots may be the opposite problem. Totally dried out, brittle and straw-like, crunchy when squeezed instead of firm and juicy. No matter which one you see, both types mean the orchid is severely dehydrated, and survival is already on hard mode. Trimming away the dead parts of the plant is the easy part. Anyone can cut off rot, but finding something that's still alive, something that hasn't completely given up, that's a very different story. The more we trim, the worse it gets. Layer after layer shows just how far the damage has spread. Even the leaves, which should be the strongest part, are already dead and collapsing. At this point, it really feels like we're chasing nothing, like the plant is already gone and we're just confirming it. But we keep going anyway, carefully, slowly, removing only what's truly dead. And then, deep inside the plant, almost hidden from view, we notice something different. A tiny bud, small, pale, but still firm. Barely alive, barely holding on, but alive nonetheless. Now that we've found the bud, the next step is cleaning it. But this part must be done very carefully. Any dirt still clinging to the bud should be washed away, but only using very gentle water. No pressure, no spraying, no rushing. The best way is to slowly pour water through the plant, letting it flow naturally over the bud, just enough to carry the dirt away, without soaking or damaging the tissue. This bud is extremely fragile right now. Too much force can break it, and too much water can invite rot all over again. At this stage, we're not trying to water the plant. We're only cleaning it. Slow, controlled, and minimal, because this tiny bud is the orchid's last chance at starting over. While we wait for the bud to dry, this is the perfect time to prepare a recovery solution. And for this plant, we're going to use an aloe vera solution. Start with a fresh aloe vera leaf. Clean it, then cut it into small pieces. just enough to release the natural gel inside. Aloe vera is gentle but powerful. It helps reduce stress, supports healing, and creates a safer environment for fragile tissue. This step isn't about forcing growth. It's about giving the orchid the best possible support while it slowly recovers on its own. Place all the aloe vera pieces into a container, then slowly fill it with water. Once that's done, we're going to blend everything together using an automatic beater. This helps break down the fresh aloe and release its nutrients. Using fresh aloe is important here because we want those natural compounds fully activated, not trapped inside the leaf tissue. Blend it gently, just enough to turn it into a smooth solution. No need to overdo it. At this stage, we're creating a mild, plant-safe treatment, something that supports recovery without stressing the bud any further. Filtering the solution is a required step because we only want the liquid, not the leftover pulp or fibers. Any solid pieces left inside can rot over time, and that's the last thing this fragile bud needs. Use a fine strainer or clean cloth and slowly pour the mixture through it, letting only the clear liquid pass. Take your time here. This isn't about speed. What we want in the end is a clean, smooth aloe vera solution, gentle enough to support recovery, and safe enough for direct contact with the plant. If you think vitamin B1 is only for humans, you'd be wrong. These small tablets can be used for many things. And yes, that includes plants. Vitamin B1 helps reduce stress, especially for plants that have been damaged or shocked, which makes it perfect for this situation. For this solution, 3 tablets are more than enough. Just make sure they are fully dissolved. Take your time and mix it well. No chunks left behind. At this stage, we're giving the orchid every possible advantage before moving on to the recovery process. Before rinsing the bud in the solution, there's one important thing we need to do first. Try to gently tie the bud onto something like a string or soft support. This makes it much easier to remove later, without touching or damaging it. Once it's secured, we can slowly place the bud into the solution, making sure it's fully rinsed. No stacking, no squeezing, just a gentle soak. Let the solution do the work. This step helps clean the surface, reduce stress, and prepare the bud for recovery. When the time is up, we can lift it out easily, safe and intact, ready for the next stage. After 5 minutes, carefully take the bud out of the solution. Avoid touching it more than necessary, and let any excess liquid drip off naturally. From this point on, we get space. No more soaking, no more treatments, just a clean, calm environment for recovery. Using moist moss, fill it gently into a small pot. Then carefully place the bud inside. The moss acts like a soft cradle, holding just enough moisture to keep the bud hydrated, without drowning it. It also allows air to move freely, which helps prevent rot from returning. Don't pack the moss too tightly. Loose and airy is exactly what we want. At this stage, we're not forcing growth. We're simply creating a safe space where the bud can slowly wake up and begin again. Creating a small greenhouse is the next step, and it's very simple to do. Cover the pot with another pot, one that has clear drainage holes. This helps trap humidity inside, creating a warm, stable environment, perfect for recovery. The clear holes are important. They allow light to pass through, while still keeping moisture in. Best of both worlds. This mini greenhouse reduces stress, slows moisture loss, and gives the bud time to adjust. After 3 weeks, the bud that once stood alone has slowly changed. What was barely alive has begun to grow, forming the shape of an actual new plant. Small leaves start to appear, fresh, green, and full of life, something that didn't exist before. This moment proves something important. Even a plant that looks completely lost can still find a way back when given the right care and time. Prepare a simple pot using pine bark and moss, making sure the mix stays loose and airy. Pine bark helps with drainage, preventing excess water from sitting around the roots, while the moss holds just enough moisture, keeping the plant hydrated without suffocating it. This balance is important, especially for a young plant that's still adjusting. Gently place the plant into the pot, supporting it without pressing the mix down too tightly. Let the roots find their own way. There's no need for complicated setups here. No heavy fertilizers. No forcing growth. At this stage, we're simply giving it a safe, stable home, where it can continue growing at its own pace. From a single fragile bud to a living plant with a future ahead. I hope you didn't throw away the solution we prepared earlier, because it still has an important role to play. And if you already did, that's completely fine. You can always prepare a fresh batch. This solution won't be used as a one-time treatment. Instead, it becomes part of a simple routine care plan. Used correctly, it helps reduce stress, supports recovery, and encourages steady, healthy growth over time. We're not relying on it every day. And we're not trying to rush anything. Less is more at this stage. Think of it as extra support, like a safety net for a plant that's still adjusting to its new environment as the orchid grows stronger. This solution will slowly become less necessary until the plant can fully sustain itself. Consistency, patience, and restraint. That's what makes the real difference here. With proper care and time, what was once nearly lost now has the chance to grow into a healthy, thriving plant. After 2 months of consistent care, this is the result. What was once a single fragile bud has now developed into a healthy young plant. The leaves are firm, thick, and a deep, healthy green, showing proper hydration and steady growth. Each leaf sits confidently, upright and well supported, with no signs of rot or collapse. A huge contrast to where we started. The growth may not be fast, but it's stable, balanced, and strong. This tells us the roots are finally functioning again, absorbing water properly and supporting new leaf development. At this stage, the plant no longer looks like it's just surviving. It's actively growing. And there you have it, from a plant that looked completely finished to a healthy young orchid with a future ahead. This recovery didn't happen overnight, and it didn't rely on miracles. Just patience, careful steps, and understanding what the plant actually needed. If you enjoy bringing struggling plants back to life, or you're curious how far proper care can really go, there's plenty more waiting for you on this channel. Look around, because every plant has a story, and sometimes the best ones start when things look hopeless.